So I guess we send them back to the corporations and release the documents. Release them. I guess we're going to have to come up with a little stamp for that. It might be easier to have a rubber stamp made and then stamp it on the receipt and fill in their name on each one.
Right.
So should we send those to like the CFO of the company?
Oh, let's ask Patrick tonight. He brought that up. Evidently that he realized that today while searching definitions for bills of lading. When he realized that they were because he points out in the definitions that the certificates of live birth and all of those other registration documents are bills of lading. So he says, okay, what else can I find out about bills of lading? And he does that by pounding on the dictionaries.
You wanted to put it 1 minute on it because it was
So I had not picked up on the previous call where he said that the release document that the release stamp that he issued, he had forgotten to put the state on there. So what I'll be doing is I'll just be correcting the stamp on the certificate of live birth and faxing and mailing that in as an addendum.
Okay.
This service is provided by preconferencing.com.
Okay. I think we knew that.
I was looking in the dictionary and I found this word. It says substitute bill of lading. And it's a bill of lading issued in place of a bill which has been lost, stolen, or destroyed. So maybe, I don't know. I think it's probably best to use that one sparingly.
And what would you need that for? You've had a bill of lading and you're thinking of making up a copy?
I don't know, maybe for any receipts that you might have lost.
Okay. The only thing I think could serve as that is a copy of a check that you wrote. That would be a substitute.
There's a bill of lading template for Microsoft.com when you just search bill of lading.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big fancy template. Bill of lading, short form, not negotiable.
Yes, and he did mention that, and we'll discuss it today. that the bills of lading are non-negotiable until you release them. You quitclaim them and release them. Then they become negotiable. And with the mortgage, there's all kinds of things that are going on in the background that he will explain. That your mortgage has been paid off, it's been insured, and they make money by doing bank trading on the bonds, and so that when you release it and ask for the forensic audit, all of that stuff should be yours. So there may be much more than what you put in.
Bill Smith and Lawrence Singleton.
How you doing, Bill?
Hey, man, I had a time trying to find that number. That was two.
Just a minute. Patrick's calling me. Let me answer him.
He said, hold on. Patrick's calling him.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Tawana. Hi, Bill Smith. It's Peter.
Hey, all right.
So let's hear what goes on. I've been trying to type up this letter. I've been reading it over and over, the Quitclaim deed. It's very cool. I know. I'm like, duh, when it comes to some of these words. But you know what's interesting? I was listening to last week's call, and he talked about if you have Tom Jones' name and you hire all the people named Tom Jones to work for you. And I was saying to myself, well, what about all the people that had the same last name as me? Are we all in the same boat? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
None
well,
yet.
He was saying the whole, if you hired somebody, everybody with the same name, the full name as you.
Oh, okay. That's a full name, but...
Yeah, that's how you can be all the parties involved by just giving yourself the title of all the parties.
Interesting. Is Thomas going to record this?
It's already recording, I think. He just was going to, Patrick was calling him, so he was answering Patrick.
Oh, I better behave then. Okay. I don't know if Tricia is on the line. Hope she's doing well. Bill, how are you doing, Bill Smith?
Oh, just trying to hang in there. You know, I been dealing with a lot of medical issues here lately, so you know how that is. But other than that, I'm hanging. I'm like I'm for the arrow, just trying to hang in there.
Okay, you will. We need you around for at least another 20 years.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I got dropped off. Patrick will be right in.
You got bumped off?
Well, I must have pushed the wrong button when I went over to answer the call, so my call to the free conferencing got dropped. But
so he's going to call back?
Yeah.
And, okay, cool.
He should be in shortly.
Yeah. I'm going to do my fax and then do the letter and just send fax a copy of my naturalization with it. Did you send your original birth certificate in?
No. Remember, he said on the last call that we don't need to send originals in. We can make copies and send them in.
Right. And we are the notary, so our copy.
Yeah, we are the notary, so we can certify it.
Yeah, I finally figured that one out. Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm on the line now, Tom.
Hi,
Patrick.
Okay.
We have a recording one.
Okay, try and get that fax, Tom, and see if you got it, and then try and get it posted up to the PDF.
Okay, I'll post it up right away here. Find it. Here it came in 7 pages. Bring it up.
We got a new fax coming in?
Yes, he's got more definitions.
Oh, goody. More, okay.
So I'll have it posted up there in a couple of minutes. I'm working on that right now.
Yeah, I sent a copy of the quitclaim deed, a couple changes that I had on it, and then also on the template, and then also basically what you would do with the release document, what you'd be saying there, and I just used my certificate of live birth. You'd have to make a comparison of either the certificate of live birth or the mortgage or whatever instrument you're doing the quitclaim deed against. Then I also put a minimum of title M-I-N-I-M-E-N-T, of title, and that shows what I have is I have a side-by-side progression of the chain of title of how they took the original registration and then put in, like the certificate of baptism, the one that I used to show you how they made that into a bill of lading, and that we have to come in under prescription, under our prescription age of 12 on the baptism to be confirmed for the law of the Bible. Okay? Now, for your certificate of live birth, that would be the age of 21. For D214, that would be the age of 25. Then I also put up a template of what I had for doing an identification card that I used previously, and based upon the Constitution for the United States of America, Article 1, Section 8, and the 9th and 10th Amendments, we stand as exempt, okay, in that the Congress and the Constitution and Congress do not regulate, and the states cannot impose additional regulations upon us in our free commerce out here. Okay? So no driver's license is required. They can only charge us with actual harm. Okay? And then you notarize that too. And then there's 2 pages of new definitions, and it's all primarily dealing with bills of lading, because that's what this essentially is. These policies that we have are essentially bills of lading. And then I will go in also to some constructive fraud in the mortgage process. How I found a lot of this stuff was taking the word lading and doing a word search against the dictionary. Okay? You have something that you feel you want to check out, find the word and then do a search throughout the whole dictionary. See what other words use that same word that you're trying to look for. And you'll be surprised in what you find in some cases. So, you get those, Tom?
Yeah, I got the facts. I'm renaming it here.
Well, just put a name on it. Throw it up there right now for Sunday night's call or something like that. October. What the hell is today? 4th?
Well, I was just going to call it Ecclesiastical Perfected Quitclaim Deed Rev 2, Rev 1.
Well, yeah, but there's more to it than that. See, there's about 5 documents there.
Okay.
So just say package for Sunday night, okay?
Quitclaim
and then you
package.
Can break it out later.
Quitclaim package. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that name here. Go over to the browser.
Does anybody have any questions so far on what they've been given here? On the understanding about this quitclaim deed?
No.
I posted on the group, Patrick, the what you told me about the various questions I had.
Okay, but basically I'm asking, is there any other questions right now? Okay.
Oh, just trying to complete this stuff, make it.
You got to speak up a little more.
I said just trying to make sure I got the stuff right before I mail it in, because I want to take it in tomorrow, but I got to take my wife to the doctor, and I got to leave out early in the morning. So I'm gonna wait till I get back.
Well, like I said, in your case, the best thing to be able to do would be to walk that in, especially if you got three of you guys there.
Yeah.
Go in and force.
Yeah, I want to, but I got to go to a doctor, which is about 120 miles away from here. So.
Yeah. Well, I'd shoot the doctor, and basically I'd take care of that.
Yeah, you have to tell them how to eat apple seed, Patrick.
Yeah, basically, there's an old saying out there: an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Okay, and there's more truth to that than basically what people realize. Okay, you're supposed to eat the apple seeds also. Grind them up and eat them, because the apple seeds have arsenic in them, and basically it's enough to basically help kill cancer cells. It's a cancer-killing product, an apple seed, okay? Don't take it in immense quantities, but basically an apple a day, you're taking a little bit of strychnine, and basically it will kill off the cancers.
Good to hear that. Look, I need to ask you something right quick. I'm just on this part. Let me see the part on the quitclaim deed down at the bottom where the celestial notary, where it says celestial notary. Do we sign that? I know it says
Ecclesiastical notary. Yeah. You sign that as however you want to not sign it. Okay. The name does not make a difference. It's the title of office that is the important thing.
Okay.
Everybody in government could be named Tom Jones, okay?
Okay.
See, it doesn't make a damn bit of difference about the name. It's the office that has the power.
Yeah. Okay.
So you go by the title of office, and basically you can have everybody working at Walmart named Joe Blow.
Yeah.
Patrick, the quitclaim package is up on Yahoo and in the Skype group now. So people should be getting an email with the link in it.
Okay, you should try and get that down, print out at least the definition page, and I'll try and go over some of these definitions about these bills of lading to give you an understanding. This was all brought about under the Bills of Lading Act on January 1st, 1917. And it was also, and that was under 49 U.S.C., what they tried to bring in this interstate commerce action out of this, because they transferred our assets over to the United States Assurance Corporation, which was now a foreign state there in Washington, D.C. So now it fell under the interstate commerce, which is regulated by the Constitution in Article 1, Section 8. Okay? That's how they got us into the picture of regulating our commerce under this fictional grantor scenario with the certificate of live birth or with your naturalization paper, whatever that they put out here. And these are all bills of lading, okay? And then you need to study what a bill of lading is. And in our case, these are basically were put out as straight bills, or a straight bill of lading, a non-negotiable bill of lading. a bill of lading in which it is stated that the goods are consigned or destined to a specific person, and that's you, the living. And they are awaiting further conveyance. And see, that's an implied clause in the bill of lading that is to be further awaiting a further conveyance to you. And see, that's where the quitclaim comes in. You have to come in when you come of age and get confirmed as being the executorial trustee, and then you stand over your fictional person, okay? He's now a testator because they've been writing his name in all capital letters. You come in as the executorial trustee standing over him, and you do the quitclaim. You quit his claim for him against this bill of lading. And then you also release the carrier, which is the state of Iowa or the state of whatever, and the United States assurance corporations. And that's when you write on the item that you are releasing them of their obligations out here if they comply with the bill of lading or with the quitclaim deed and release that bill of lading to us. And see, that's what we thought, that basically these were negotiable bills of lading, but they're not. They're non-negotiable. And see, that comes under the item of inalienable condition. Okay? There's only one way we can get real access to them, and that is to basically do the quitclaim and get the whole account transferred over to us. Anything else, you're dealing with an individual insurance policy out here in some regards, either against your bank account with the FDIC or another type item like the mortgage. And the mortgage is under a non-recording insurance. So you can read that definition in there. Yeah. A non-negotiable, let me back up here. A straight bill of lading, a non-negotiable bill of lading. Well, a non-negotiable bill of lading states the same thing. Any bill of lading which is not negotiable according to the definition, okay, in the UCC, a bill of lading which the goods are consigned or destined to a specific person. It's also known as a straight bill of lading. Now, this non-recording insurance that they have out here deals primarily with your mortgage. Okay? A non-recording insurance. Insurance designed subject to certain exclusions and exceptions to compensate a lender for losses resulting solely from the failure to file for public record an instrument securing a debt, usually a bill of sale or a conditional sale contract or chattel mortgage. Okay? See, the bank is not recording these insurance policies, but they're there. And see, this is being done under constructive fraud. So I've got the definition of constructive fraud there. Also, fraudulent conversion. When you know what they're doing in the process about fraudulent conversion. Now, everybody's been trying to use out here on their instruments without recourse. Well, in the dictionary, there's a definition called non-recourse provision. The direction in a bill of lading where the consignor directs the carrier not to deliver the goods to the consignee until the carrier's charges are collected, thereby relieving himself, the carrier, from being compelled to pay any such charges, where the carrier delivers the goods to the consignee without collecting the charges as directed. And see, that's where we come in under this release document to them. We're releasing them of their liability. Okay? And without recourse is exonerating the endorser from liability as such. So when we send this into them and we release them, then they have to endorse that document that we just sent to them and close it down. We're not the ones that are being talked about here. It's the guys that are the carriers of these documents, of these bills of lading. And then basically I've got constructive delivery, the symbolic delivery. I talked about that before. And we get clothed. So basically now when we come of age, we are clothed with our lawful title, and that is under the
monuments
of title or indices, okay, of ownership, okay? And see, one of the things that they did out here in this process was basically owner's risk, a term by common carriers in bills of lading and shipping receipts to signify that the carrier does not assume responsibility for the safety of the goods. And they made it perfectly clear that you were the owner of that Social Security card, and that you are the owner of that certificate of live birth, and that you are the owner of that DD-214 form, and that you are the owner of that driver's license, and that you are the owner out here. But they didn't give you the access or the knowledge of how to get to the funds out here, and that was by the quitclaim if you're over the age of 21, 25, or with the Church of Rome, 12. So it's all pretty much everything that I talked about last week, and then basically with this bills of lading that I highlighted here in these items to show that basically this is, it all substantiates everything about this quitclaim. You don't use the codes. I mean, go to the Pirates of the Caribbean, and basically it tells you right there, the codes are not anything, okay? They don't operate by the codes. They'll charge you by the codes, but basically they can make up the codes any way they want them, okay? They're not real laws. They're just wannabes. And you can go to the first movie of Pirates of the Caribbean. Basically, it will very well address that. Where basically she's trying to do a parlay with Captain Barbossa. And he comes right out and tells you what the hell the codes are. That they ain't worth the powder to blow them to hell. But the words are. when you understand what the words mean, then you have the power. And even the Bible has stated that one. You have to know the word. If you don't know what the words mean, then basically you're screwed. Okay? Now on there, I put a couple items. See, on that monument or measurement of title, okay, I have a side-by-side progression of the chain of title. I've got really 3 titles. I've got my original hospital birth certificate, then I've got the certificate of birth registration, and then I have the baptismal one showing here, but on my other one, then I have the certificate of live birth, okay, which was a bill of lading. And basically, the original registration title deed was by prescription. It was drawn from my original hospital birth certificate as the documented facts. And then we come in to be confirmed as the executorial trustee at the prescription age of 21 or 12, like for the Bible, for the biblical law, for the certificate of baptism to claim your universal assurance policy bill of lading. Now, a lot of this stuff with the bills of lading dating back to 1917, and that was when Woodrow Wilson was in office, okay? And that's the biggest thing that he screwed over the country with, was the bill of lading process, and also allowing these insurance policies for the common carriers. Okay? That was the key thing that really was the most destructive out here for the people, because the people didn't understand what this did. Roosevelt just added more to it, and he did that in 1934 under some additional changes to the Bill of Lading Acts. But a lot of this stuff with the Bill of Lading was also covered under treaties, not under the statutes. So that's why some of this stuff has been hidden away, is because you have to look to the treaties that were also out here. And then, like I said, that one was signed on January 1st, 1917, when nobody was around. I mean, everybody's out watching their damn football game. What the hell are they doing sitting there? I mean, that's normally a holiday. Everybody has that one off. What the hell is Wilson doing signing a damn document on that day? Unless it was to try and sneak something through. So you can look over these documents if you got them downloaded, and if you have any questions over them, I'll go ahead and open up the phone call now. That basically I tried to cover, sort of highlight these things, but I'll give you an update. I sent my fax in last Wednesday. Well, I sent it to the wrong fax number. Well, I called them up Thursday, and they hadn't received my fax or my certified mail on Thursday, So basically, I checked the fax number. Well, I had the wrong fax number. I was one number off. Instead of 3, it should have been 2 on the last. So I turned around and sent it in before the end of the day. Then I found out that my delivery got confirmed at 8:01 on Friday morning. I called them up about noon and left a message at about 11:15. And then basically the guy that I talked to on Thursday finally called me up about 2:20 and said that they just received it, both the fax and the other package there in the afternoon. Well, I know damn well that was a lie. And basically they've been looking it over all day long because he wasn't going to call me unless basically he had to call me. And basically that I had things right. And he said that they are in the process of processing it. And he told me to have a good weekend. And I said, well, basically this is a time of an essence on this. And that it needs to be, I need to be kept informed about the progress on this. So I expect to hear something Monday morning or Monday. But I will be checking in on them because, see, I'm an executorial trustee now. And I stand over the state of Iowa trust, governmental trust, and the United States governmental trust. I'm an executorial trustee standing over them. That means they are just trust employees. That's how this thing was really set up. Okay? We don't abuse the power, but we can weld the power when need be. So I should be hearing something, and basically possibly a visit. The key thing is to get the number one document, either your naturalization document or your certificate of live birth document in. And that's like in the movie V. Okay, he set up all those dominoes. And when he hit the first domino, the rest fell down. Well, the certificate of live birth or your naturalization paper or document are your initial bill of lading that will take everything else down with it. So if nothing else, concentrate solely on that document. You can address the others and say, I've got these others and I will be doing the same for them. Okay? Now, if you have a naturalization paper, you send that to the Secretary of State in Washington, D.C. Okay? You don't send that to the state that you're in or whatever. You send it to, because that is not a state-issued document. It is basically a United States-issued document.
It's a federal document, right?
Yes, it's basically issued by the United States Corporation out of Washington, D.C. So that's the Secretary of State that you need to go to.
Cool.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And basically, you need to go to wherever the instrument was initiated from, okay? Now, if you've got your birth certificate in one state, and then you signed up with Selective Service in a different state, you've got to go to that state with the Selective Service at that state level, okay? With that Secretary of State. Your driver's license, your certificate of title to your vehicle, your certificate of title to the house. The certificate of title to the house is basically for paying the property taxes, okay? And also any insurance policies that are out there. they're writing bonds against that, and basically that insurance policy was to pay for those items. Now, your mortgage is with the bank. The bank issued that to you. Your credit card, your checking account, the bank issued all of those to you. Now, they're being held under the FDIC for most part. Now, the mortgage was basically probably being insured by a different insurance company other than FDIC. So it's still got to go through to the bank, and you've got to know that basically they did not record this insurance policy for the mortgage in most cases. And that is partly of their constructive fraud. And now you can start proving this against them, that you have to do the quitclaim and then the release on the mortgage back to them.
Yes, this is Correa Baker from
Then you put
Pennsylvania.
them on the hot seat. See, they try and keep you on the hot seat, but you can turn around and turn the tables on them. Because none of this other stuff out here is going to bring you to total resolve. It may mask things over for a while, but sooner or later, they're going to come after you, and they're going to come after you with a vengeance. And you won't know what to do, okay? This is the only right thing to do.
I'm after you with a vengeance for what?
For whatever they want to harm you for, because you don't know what you're doing. You didn't know that you had the right to get out. Okay? And if you don't know how to get out, then basically you're at their mercy. And they will take every advantage of you in that process, even to send you to jail and use you as collateral and take everything away from you.
I have a question.
Yes.
They're taking care, since we're infants, right? Now, I have a question about the name. Since I'm married, I should use my married name because my citizenship naturalization is on my maiden name, and it's first, middle, last. That's how it's labeled. So I would use my name now, right?
Well, you've got a court document for your marriage, right? For
yeah.
changing your name, okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
you put that in there to substantiate the name change.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay. So that means I was married. Everybody's going to know this. I was married twice, so my name changed twice before my maiden name.
Yeah, you can change your name up to 25 times without any recourse. You do it over 25 times, and then, well, basically, you're probably dead.
Catch up to Elizabeth Taylor. All right, thanks.
Yeah, old Liz Taylor, yeah. You finally kicked the bucket. Didn't she? I don't think she made it 25 times. It came close.
I think I was 8. Patrick, I'm looking at the new documents you just put up. You put in where is it? You put in you made up that electoral trustee / lector ID yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay,
See, I've been putting up an ID similar to that. Okay?
So,
but instead of doing one, I put it all on one sheet. I enlarged it, okay? And then I do the notary down below. And basically, I don't need any state authorization for that.
True. And
Yeah,
I see you
that's
have
my ID. And basically, I do not fall under their Article 1, Section 8 of Commerce. And I put that on there, stating that. You can hand that to the cop and say, hey, yeah, you better read this. This is who I am, and I have no numbers, okay? You do not use any numbers. That's against the Bible.
Mark of the beast.
Whatever. It's a violation in the Bible.
So
And basically, to have any church also is a violation of the Bible. You do not worship things that are made by man's hands. And basically, going to a building that's made by man's hands is an abomination.
Yeah, it's called the, I believe it's the graven image.
Yeah.
This is an interesting concept because if you look at the graven image, graven could imply the fact that it's pertaining to a dead, fictitious person. An image is that person that it's referring to. So the graven image is like the artificial person.
Yeah, well, basically, you go down and chop down a tree for fire. But then you turn around, take half a chunk of wood and make a graven image and start worshiping it. Okay? It's all in the Old Testament, okay? If people just know how to read the damn thing or listen to it, you can get the audio for the whole damn Old Testament off the somewhere on the internet there. And then you can get all the New Testament, pretty much the same thing too, all audios. You ought to go to sleep listening to it and wake up listening to it. Because you can't listen to it all in one night. It's about 96 hours if you get the whole Old Testament. Okay, any other questions on the definitions or anything like that? Seeing the importance of those definitions. You start seeing where they start putting this stuff into power under this bills of lading and the Shipping Act and the Railroad Act, whatever, 49, UCC or USC 49. I think that was for the land transferring. Title 46 is the Shipping Act that I talked about before. And see, now all these things are coming together. We've been on target this whole damn time. Okay? We've had a lot of people out here trying to sidetrack us away from the thing and not in the endeavor, really, when it comes down to it. The things I did 5-6 years ago, like doing that tribunal 2 out of 3 sealing, that embosser is the key one that you need to have for your ecclesia tribunal. You do not use an executorial or an executor stamp or a executrix or whatever embosser. You don't use those. You are an executorial, okay, trustee, but not an executor or a trustee. You are a combination of the two.
All right, I got mine made up saying executorial tribunal trustee.
Okay.
Do you have your name put on it too, or just that word, those words?
No, I put my name on there, written with the semicolon.
You can do it that way, and then basically just 2 out of 3, and you use your right and left index finger, and then you emboss over that. That gives you your 2 persons, your right and left.
Did you
just can't find the fingerprint for the 3rd person because he's a fiction. So that you only have 2 out of 3. You do the 2 living. Now, if you lose your damn right hand or something like that, then use your right toe. There's ways around this.
Hey, Patrick, you said you're not an executor and you're not a trustee. You're a composite of them both. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
You're an executorial trustee.
Right.
You have more power than a trustee and more power than an executor.
Okay.
See, the president is an executor.
Yeah.
Okay? And basically all these other guys are sort of like trustees. They're trust employee, okay? Let's see, now as an executorial trustee, you stand over both the president and the Secretary of State and all the other nitwits out there that are just trust employees.
Okay.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen that anybody with that title.
You're not going to, okay? Nobody has basically identified these words. Everybody's been out here arguing the wrong damn words, even using that without recourse wrongly. Okay? That was not for us. We're not the carrier. Without recourse was for the carrier of the bill of lading. When you read those definitions that I just posted up there.
So the banks are carriers then?
Yes, the banks are carriers of our bills of lading. Yes, and see, that's a bill of lading. Now, your receipts that you get are bills of lading also. Is what you have to do is do a release of them and send them back to the company that issued them. At least that's the way I am interpreting it right now, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to worry about the big item. We will do a little more in-depth studying on these receipt bills of lading as the time progresses. That you don't mix and match this and screw it up in the process. You keep on target of what I tried to start last week with this quitclaim. If you want out of the system. Okay, any other questions?
Thomas mentioned something. Sorry.
Yeah, Tawana posted on the Skype group
you gotta
audio.
Speak.
Hello?
Tawana posted on the Skype group the audio of the Old Testament.
You're mumbling. You got a bad mic, Tom.
I got a bad mic.
You hear me
okay? Try it now.
I posted the audio of the Old Testament group.
You said most of the audio of the Old Testament something.
Yeah,
Okay.
I posted the link to the audio for the Old Testament in the Skype group. He's got some distortion in his mic.
Yeah. Got a lot of it.
Any questions from Bill Smith?
Yeah, what happened when you went to the Secretary of State, Bill? You may have to star 6 yourself out. You had some background noise, so I muted you out.
Is he on the phone or did he drop out?
I had muted him out earlier, so may not know that. Is this any better?
A little bit better.
Okay, I'm using the mic on my laptop. This is a new headset I got. I just got a new headset. I guess it's not working either.
And it sounds like you got a piece of paper over the mic or something.
Who knows?
So the Ecclesiastic perfected Quitclaim is the better one to use right now, right? Or to use as template.
He just sent a new one today.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
there's a couple minor changes there that basically you might take a look at.
Yeah, I got to compare
Now,
them
you
all.
don't need to put it all in there.
Yeah.
You need to write this up so that you understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, understand what you're saying.
Yes, I write a lot more than what I really need to because I know a lot more than what I really need to.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like things are going to be going pretty good for you. It's like you got some green lights or some doors opening anyhow.
Yes, we finally got to the door. And basically that's what I told him. I said, it's been a long time getting here, but I know that I'm here now. And you ain't going to stop me. You've got to comply now. I didn't say all that, but basically I know that. Now, knowing that, and basically all this other stuff with this, and knowing what they have in all these so-called educated idiots running around out here, are they really that damn smart, or are they really dumb? People worship them for being smart. Giving them praise and everything. Oh, they know everything. They don't know shit. It's only when you're vigilant that you will end up getting what you want. And that's what this whole process was about, was trying to remain vigilant and honorable in the process to accomplish what we wanted. Be determined. Know that there's a wrong and that you're out there to find and prove that wrong. Knowing how they have fraudulently done the mortgages. And I just gave you two big items on that in the process here, in that they do not record the insurance policies for the mortgages. And that is a fraudulent action, a constructive fraud.
Or for the licenses, at that matter, the driver's license.
Yeah, they don't basically tell you that basically the state is the insurance writer for that. And then they try and deny it. I brought that up in my court case. I said, hey, madam, you have to do the quitclaim against that. Otherwise, you are just the owner of that driver's license, and now you're the liable party to make the payment. As you're also the grantee. You have to get rid of the grantor and then have everything transferred over to you as the grantee, and then basically you can take your stuff and leave their sandbox.
Yeah, you were telling me the other day that you actually demand an accounting of that driver.
Speak up a little more.
You were telling me the other day that you actually, when you go to court, to demand an accounting for the driver's license.
Yes, but you do a quitclaim against that driver's license.
Right. Before you even enter the court, yeah.
Yeah.
And I still
you can
do
do
that
it before and then hand your quitclaim to them. Send also a copy of that quitclaim up to the Secretary of State. See, people were doing some of these quitclaims before. Okay? I don't know whether Rob Ryder was doing these or not, but I know somebody out there was doing some quitclaims, but they were taking them and recording them at the county. That's the wrong place. They have to go to the Secretary of State or to the bank where they are issued from.
Right.
They weren't issued by the, but yet you can take a copy of that quitclaim after you've submitted it into the Secretary of State and turn it into a court case. So you always keep a copy of it after you've signed and notarized it and everything. And then you can hand it into the court case and say, hey, basically, I'm out of here. I've ordered the termination of that driver's license.
What was it that you brought up in your court case regarding that?
I just brought up that the driver's license had an insurance policy attached to it. And it does. All certificates, see, they're bills of lading, and all bills of lading, the carrier has an insurance policy attached. Read the definitions I just posted up there. You'll start seeing some of that stuff.
My mortgage company had me paying for an extra insurance, a PMI.
Yes, they will try and do that. Okay? Because they have the hammer. Until you take the hammer away from them and start using the hammer on them, no, they're going to use it against you. That's what I'm saying. Basically, you may get a little relief here today, but tomorrow they're going to come after you with vengeance.
bank sent me a letter saying, asking me to approve and sign this document saying that I approve of this sale, the sheriff's sale. I wrote them a letter back saying, hell no, I don't approve. I don't consent to any of this, and I believe you're all acting in fraud.
Yes, and now you need to get that quitclaim deed in there on the mortgage. Okay?
Right.
You basically do a quitclaim because the deed is in your fictional person's name, and it's got to be transferred over to you.
See what he's doing and how he's doing it.
And then you release them from all obligations, and you can also address in your letter that you will be coming after them under constructive fraud if they don't comply. That you know how the game is being played. Even though you might not fully understand it, basically you should know from these definitions a little more about the game.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Done the same. I'm having a hard time getting that stuff. Yeah.
So what was Chris saying about big things happening next week about the government and reset and all this stuff?
Don't worry about them. Okay? You worry about yourself. Okay?
Exactly.
I hate that. Everybody wants to about every damn other person, and they can't even take care of their own damn selves. You get your shit, get out of their sandbox, and then you don't have to worry about what the hell they do. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
Well, it was just mentioned that the government won't be able to move.
I don't care what they mentioned. Okay?
Okay.
You get your shit. Okay?
Okay.
We've heard this story how many damn times, over and over again. It'll happen when it happens, and you can't do a damn thing about it. The only thing you can do something about is what I'm telling you can do right now. Okay? You have the capability of doing this. Okay? You don't have a capability of doing anything else out there with the government.
How can we use this for frivolous filing fees?
For what?
And frivolous filing fees.
You just throw them in the garbage can and basically get this thing in, and basically they'll all go away. Okay? It's like dominoes. Like in the movie V. When he hit that first domino, all the rest of the dominoes fell down. Right? Did you ever watch the movie V?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. It's very good.
Yeah. Basically, he did a good job setting those dominoes up.
Must have took a long time to set them up, though. So
Yeah. If you go on to YouTube or something like that and basically go into dominoes, you'll see that there are some very expensive dominoes. I mean, to where they, basically there's in the book of, what the hell is that record book that's out there that basically of all the records.
Yeah, Guinness. You mean the Guinness Book of Record or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they do elaborate setup. Yeah.
Yeah, and basically there's some very impressive domino setups. I mean, different things that knocking them all down, and some of them don't get them all knocked down, but they get a vast majority of them knocked down. Yeah, there may be some small things that we have to do some cleanup later on, but that we will have the funds to take care of that, or just to let them ride. Walk away from them. You have that option, okay?
Now, a quitclaim didn't specify how we wanted the payment to be made.
You do it as a symbolic delivery, and then you can add another item on there that you would like so much delivered in cash when they bring the symbolic delivery to you, and also a forensic audit of the account. That's what I have on that latest document that I had Tom just post up there.
Right.
On the end of paragraph 2. But you need to get your foot in the door, okay? You can address some of those things later on if you don't want to put it in right now. And don't worry about all the threats and intimidations that they might try and throw at you. When you understand who the hell you are, you stand over them now, and basically you will stand over them in any court in the land. Because this is all about equity. And 98% of all court cases in this country are equity. They are not law. And you go into court and you try and these codes of law, and you're in contempt of court right off the bat. I've tried to tell people that. You're in the wrong court arguing law when you're supposed to be arguing equity. I've tried to open my door to all these other gurus out here that basically are trying to push all this other stuff, but not one of them has bothered to call me. So, are they working for the other side or what? Or are they just working for the pocket?
Because they're using all the codes.
Yeah, and in a lot of cases, they're using my damn documents, too. Had one guy come up and basically tell me that the damn judge was very impressed with the documents he was submitting into court.
Saskatchewan, yeah.
And he was using my documents in his court case. Even when I send him into court, I know that these guys are basically acknowledging that basically these documents I'm submitting to them are really pretty damn good. But they're not right because we don't need to be there to begin with. We needed to go to the Secretary of State and claim these bills of lading with a claim. We only use the courts when the Secretary of State or the banks do not comply with our quitclaim. Then we will take them to court. You guys follow all this stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
And see, the more you talk about it, like what I'm doing right now, the more confidence you get. And then you do this in front of a mirror, and basically then you could walk right into that court and just shut them right down. If they try and bring anything against you. But in most cases, you're not even going to get to that point anymore because you're going to have these quitclaims and you're going to have everything shut down, and you'll just submit that copy of that quitclaim into the court, and basically they'll just That's it. It's done. They don't have a claim anymore. They can't file a charge against something they don't have the right to put a claim in against. Because, see, they're not in possession any longer. Okay, any other questions?
No.
Patrick, I have a question.
Bring them up because my phone's starting to run down here.
That's the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay, my question was, are we still recording this deed with the local registry of deeds?
No. The local registry of deeds is the Secretary of State.
Okay, thank you.
Or that's the problem. See, everybody thought it was the county recorder. It's not. Okay? Next question.
I wanted to know, excuse me, I'm Elle. I wanted to know, how do we find out that the mortgage insurance, how do we find out the insurer for the mortgage? Is there any way to find that out?
You don't need to. You do the quitclaim, and you give it back to them.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And you want a forensic accounting of that mortgage.
And that should include those charges, right? The insurance charges. That should include the insurance charges.
Yes.
Is it the same thing when you have a car note?
Let's take an example here. You got a mortgage for $100,000. So far, you paid against that mortgage $50,000 out of your back pocket. Okay? There's an insurance policy out there against that basically has assured that using your collateral. Okay? There was 3 years worth of bonds written against that to pay that off. So that insurance is sitting there, but it is held up by it's $100,000 sitting there. Okay, it's held up by the grantor in the process under this non-negotiable bill of lading, or in an inalienable condition. Now, when you do the quitclaim and you transfer that from the grantor, he quits all claims against that, okay, then that frees that up now to be an alienable item, a negotiable instrument, and it's being transferred over to you as the owner, as the guarantee or grantee. So, out of that $100,000 insurance policy, there's still $50,000 owed on the house. $50,000 will pay for the rest of that. The other $50,000 will be delivered over to you. Okay? That's the way it should work. So when you know that that's the way it's supposed to work, okay, now if they do not comply with that, then you can take them into court under constructive fraud, inequity. And you bring in the forensic auditors, the bank examiners. Okay?
Does it apply for car loans?
What?
Does it also apply for car loans?
Yes.
What was that?
Yeah, you do the transfer for that mortgage. You do a quitclaim and give it back to the bank. And then you release them of their obligations. Now they have to make restitution in the process.
Do you write that across the deed or the mortgage?
What?
You write that across the deed or the mortgage?
The mortgage.
Okay.
Okay, the certificate of title to the vehicle goes to the state. It does not go to the bank. The mortgage or the loan goes to the bank. The bank is the one that issued that one. But the certificate of title to the house or to the goes to the state, because the state is up there writing insurance against those vehicles and using them as collateral in their state insurance division to make a profit. And see, that's supposed to pay for any upkeep of the vehicle, any maintenance that the vehicle needs while you have it. That certificate of title is supposed to pay for it. It's supposed to pay for the damn license.
So when we grant it back to ourselves, then all that funding, including the value of the automobile or truck and any accessories.
Patrick dropped. I think his phone gave out as you predicted. Okay.
His phone gave out?
Yes.
Okay.
I got a pop-up that he dropped out of the conference.
So we can talk amongst ourselves for a few minutes.
Right.
So when you go and grant this, do a quitclaim, you're quitting the state. You're not letting them be a co-tenant anymore on your property, and you're ordering a forensic audit so that you can get any value of those accounts sent back to you, right?
Right, but it's not you that's quitting. You're forcing your prodigal son to quit.
Yeah. The testator.
Yes.
The executorial trustee is doing a proxy for the testator.
That's right.
Right.
Right. Wow.
Okay.
Now I'm going to try when I do this, because I think not only is there insurance there, but from what I've been told, the bank does various tradings, enters the collateral of the various bank trades, and they've been making a mint off of it. So I'm going to ask for the forensic audit on all that.
I heard you say something about the trading, but what was that about? All that? What was that about? The trading? What are they? They're just trading value, or what are they trading?
They enter bank trading programs, and if they enter the right program, they can make anywhere from 5% to 40% of the value of your mortgage per month. So add that up over 30 years, and what do you get?
Wow, what a corrupt system, man.
Yeah. No kidding.
No wonder everybody's broke. I mean, we're sending all our money uphill and you never see it back again. It's not like,
You're only getting 1 or 2 cents out of every dollar of value. They take all the rest.
Right. The perpetual hamster wheel.
Yep. Okay, well, these definitions really got to look at them, and I think what I add them to the previous documents to see how the bill of lading relates to all the other writs that he's doing. So, just makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of these terms he talked about today, I had understood in the wrong meanings, as he had said, and I really need to go through and study it. It would be great if we could get a crash course on this.
Thomas?
Yes.
On the second page, he has the state of Iowa and blah, 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 all like diagonally, and it has a big release. Where does that go?
Certificate of live birth. Or
the thing at an angle?
And it's the diagonal type text.
Yes, diagonal. That goes on every registration you're turning in.
Okay, but that just goes on just a copy, right?
Yes, it goes on a copy, but the top line will change depending on who you're sending it to.
Exactly, yeah. Well, yeah. Right, the state of wherever. Mine would be Washington.
Or for the naturalization papers, just the United States Corporation.
Right, and that'll be Washington for me, but the driver's license would be California.
Right, or for if you send it into a bank for them, if you're turning in receipts, it's going to be to the store.
Yeah, gotcha. But that's going to go on the copy of. That's going to go on the copy of the bill of lading.
Yes.
Okay.
So what would be the purpose of doing that? Sending those receipts with the quitclaim back to the store. What would that?
Their bills of lading, they were non-negotiable. They're basically receipts for transportation. Remember those old definitions, and read the definitions of bill of lading. It'll go into them.
Yeah, it does. Right. I'm just doing it for my naturalization, the big one first,
right.
And then I'll study more.
And that's what we should all do. We should all concentrate on getting just the one in, as Patrick did. He didn't send in the other ones right away.
Right. Well, yeah, he even said, "Don't worry about that right now."
Right. This is the first domino.
Right. Hey, Kevin, are you on the line? Kevin Woodruff? I don't know if he is. I thought he did it. I guess he's not on.
Guess not.
No, because he said he faxed his in. I wanted to know if it was just his birth certificate.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I was going to prepare my other ones today, but I got bogged down with other things, but that's just as fine. Because actually, I have to redo it because I messed up in that. The reason he gave us this new diagonal stamp is the one he gave us before did not have the state on it. And he corrected that in the call, but even though I wrote it down, I messed up and didn't add it to the stamp. So I've got to restamp my certificate of live birth and send it in as an amendment.
I like that title that he put on there, Witness My Hand, and then underneath has the ELISA Tribunal Electoral Trustee. That's a good title we can use on everything.
Yeah.
I think. Or just Electoral Trustee we can just put as the person in charge.
Right. That's our main title. We're the executorial trustee who stands over these trusts that the government has fraudulently set up.
Right, because they are trustee, but we're the electoral. That's a good word. All right.
Executorial.
No, executorial.
That's what I meant.
Sorry.
My eyes are going crossed over.
We are also an elector, of course.
Thomas, you are so muffled. I can hardly
you muffle
hear you.
so much we can't understand you, man.
Yeah.
Back your mic off your mouth a little bit.
It's like you're talking right into it. Yeah.
I think it's the internet connection.
It never has been good sound on your end.
Yeah, I think Korea said he got dropped off over 4 times.
Yep.
I'm
now,
listening
Patrick
on the
said
telephone.
Yeah, me too.
Your
No,
mic's
Patrick
like
said
a
if you're
kazoo.
using your married name, that you put in the document, the court document that shows your name was changed.
Yeah, that's the marriage certificates.
Now, when I asked for a copy of my my marriage license, they sent me copies of marriage abstract, and they charged me $2 per page for them.
I mean, instead of the photocopy, it was an abstract.
Yeah.
Yeah, the photocopy is
So I'm
better.
wondering if I should put that template over top of that and send it in as well.
No, I'm just doing the naturalization, but sure, yes.
Considering the birth certificate has a different name than the document.
Oh, right. So I'd have to attach the name change document. Yeah, I get you. Okay. Jeez.
How did that happen?
I pushed the wrong button again.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just thinking about putting that template, that state of whatever diagonal thing across that marriage certificate, or not certificate, abstract, when I send it in with the birth certificate so that they can identify why the name is different.
Okay.
Just say that's release 2. Here, have it all.
That is a good question, though. That is a good question because it's the county that issued the marriage license, not the state, right?
Yeah. Now, remember I told you I rescinded my signature on any application for driver's license and all that, and considered those adhesion contracts canceled, and they sent me the driver's license back?
Yeah, because I don't think that canceled it. This canceled it, not that.
Right. I was like, how is it I don't have the authority to opt out of a contract? I don't understand that. But I guess this is why.
Right, because it was in an inalienable condition, so you didn't have the authority to do anything with it. The quitclaim gives you the authority.
Right.
Quitclaim,
well, mine is all ready.
The quitclaim with the release.
Right.
Did you say quitclaim with the verbiage?
No, quitclaim, the quitclaim plus the release.
Oh, okay.
Well, I see there's a couple of little changes on this new one he sent.
Right.
In comparison to the one I already have ready. So I'll just make these adjustments here. Because I was planning to send it tomorrow when I picked up my new embosser.
Right. So if you've got it in a doc file, just go in and edit the changes in.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay.
Okay?
All right, well, I'll keep you guys posted if I hear anything.
Very good. Me too. I'll know what happens.
Have a good night.
Okay, thank you. I'll get this recording up.